Hey, everybody. Evening. Good to have you guys with us. Welcome to the live streams, the craft beer live streams. I got to come up with a name for this thing. So, any suggestions, I'll take. A couple announcements first before we get rolling with Sheldon from Black Beauty. We have a bunch of events this week. So, tomorrow night, we have a Sierra Nevada tasting, which is kind of cool because Celebration just came out. That's like a pretty popular beer for them. So come on out and check out this version of it. They're always a little bit different, people say. So come out and check that out. What else we got? Oh, Friday night, we have the White Castle Evil Genius collab event. So basically, we're going to be sampling Evil Genius beer. They have this new White Castle collab. So we're going to be sampling that. Then we're going to have some White Castle sliders that we're going to microwave. So there's a little pairing going on there. And behind Jordan from Evil Genius, we're actually going to be showing Harold and Kumar. So basically, like it would be behind them, like all this stuff is behind me here. So that's what's up with that on Friday night. So that starts at 5, goes 5 to 7. We'd like to see everybody come out. It's supposed to be a little nasty weather-wise, but come on out anyway. We'll have a good time. And then on Saturday, we have part one of our cider festival. So we have Coyote Hole cider, we have Grunfeld mead, we have Boulder Rock cider, and we have Capital Cider House coming out this week. And then next week we have part two of that, which is a whole bunch of folks. So which we're excited to have all them come out and join us. It's always a pretty good time, and it's right before Thanksgiving, so cider is kind of a good. I feel like cider is like one of the better things to pair with your turkey dinner. So I think that's about it. That's what we got going on. We are still doing November for Howard County Animal Control. We just had a hard time getting signs. They had an issue at the distributor. So those signs will probably be in next week, and then we'll go full tilt on raising some, getting some supplies in store for the animals over at Howard County Animal Control and Shelter. We'll have a wish list up in the front, and we'll have that out. All that stuff should be next week. I think we're getting close to the signs being ready. So anyway, without much further ado, I want to bring in Sheldon from Black Beauty, and we're going to talk a little bit about this beer. There he is. What's happening, my friend?
Ain't nothing, man. What's going on with you?
Same old thing in the beer business. You know how it is. Well, you don't really know how it is. You're getting to know how it is.
Yeah.
How's it been so far?
It's different from I'm used to. I'm learning as I go.
Right.
It's a very fun business. Especially like with the new accounts and meeting other brewers and different people well, liquor store owners like you, and building more relationships. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's are you doing a lot of stuff with the with Black Viking and those guys? Are you in that collective?
Yeah.
So it's you, Black Viking, Joyhound, Liquid Intrusion, Patuxent. A lot of you brew in the same spot, right? A lot of you guys contract brew at Oliver. So a lot of you guys, your beers are all made there. I know Drew and Jasmine's beer is made there. Your beer is made there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Alfred's beer is still made there.
Yeah, I didn't know this until after the fact. I was like, "Oh, really? Okay."
Yeah, how does that come about? Like, well, first of all, tell us how you got into the beer, and then we'll go into like establishing how things like, finding somebody to brew your beer and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, how did you get into beer?
Okay, so back in 2020, I got let go of 2 of my jobs, and I started to buy a whole bunch of craft beer from the liquor store down the street from me in Bowie. And
What liquor store?
Rips.
Oh, I used to be the beer manager there years ago.
Cool. Oh,
Small world, right?
right.
Okay.
And I want to say after a while of buying a whole bunch of beer, like the whole like the side where you can just make your own 6-pack and everything.
Yep.
I used to do that a lot just to try different ones. And my wife was like, you might as well just make your own all the time you keep buying this beer. I'm like, okay, I'll try. And so yeah, she's basically the beauty behind Black Beauty Brewery, because she was my muse, or she is my muse. She's the one who put that thought into my head to start making it. And then as I was making it, I mean, of course, it's like trial and error because I never done it before. And then I got the hang of it. I'm like, you know what? Let me make this into a business. Then I just start making up some names. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do Black Beauty Brewery, because black is beautiful, but I can't use a horse as my logo. So I'm not trying to get sued. And then I was like, let me use birds, because I have this fascination with birds. I just love them. I think they're awesome creatures. And so I expect my logo, because one of them is like a golden eagle, and the other one, yeah. And so, yeah, that's basically how I started. And then I started to make a whole plethora of different kind of beer. Blood Orange was one of my first ones. And then I started making this, what was it called? It was like this white chocolate stout.
Ooh.
And yeah, I know, but dang, I know, let's say that. But yeah, that one and a few other ones that I came up with. And I was making cider as well. Which
nice.
Yeah. Which I may dabble in down the road, possibly.
Cool. Yeah, so you started making this stuff. Do you still buy beer?
Yeah.
You didn't get away. You didn't get away from that.
Oh no.
No, you got to try everything, right? So, like your first batch, how did it come out? Were you like, man,
trash? It was a Belgian triple. Man, that thing was trash.
How did you decide what beers to brew? Like when you first started, like beers that you liked, and then you looked up recipes online?
No, at first, since I was a novice, I was looking at like the ABVs. Right. I was trying to go for the high ones that I can make from like kits. Right. And I'm like, okay, let me try the Belgian triple. And then it's like a fully extract. And then once I did that, I'm like, all right, it's not doing anything. It's not fermenting whatsoever. What did I do wrong? And to this day, I still don't know. But yeah, practice. I just started to do a whole bunch of different other styles, like brown ale, American brown ale, honey wheat. Then I started adding flavors to things, made it into blueberry honey wheat IPA, watermelon wheat IPA, and what's it called? I made a cerveza once.
Like a lager?
Yeah.
Nice. How'd that come out? Because that takes a little longer.
Oh yeah, that thing was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I thought about doing that instead of Blood Orange at first, but then I kept winning a whole bunch of homebrew competitions with this Blood Orange recipe. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go with this thing.
So this Blood Orange recipe you wrote, like you practiced like with kits, and then you kind of got the hang of it. You're like, oh, I think I can write my own recipe, and I like this style, I like this yeast, I like this flavor, and then you put it all together. Is that how you basically did it?
Yep, I basically just sat down and just started writing my own thing. It was a whole bunch of drafts for this thing, and after a while, I'm like, all right, this is the set ingredients that I need to make it. Then I started to go to Annapolis Homebrew. I started with them. And shoot, even when I do make stuff at home, I still go to them. And once I finally figured out everything and I sent it into the homebrew competitions, I was like, perfect. I'm not changing nothing.
Right. Oh, nice. So do you still come up with recipes and like brew them at home and see if there's something that's going to be viable down the road?
To be honest with you, I haven't brewed anything in the wilds because I was focusing on trying to get this current beer in the stores, and circulate it. But once I'm in a space where I'm like, all right, cool, things are going well. I don't have to worry so much. I'll get back in and start making stuff because you can see I got my concourse behind me,
Yeah.
and I got a kegerator this past summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you still have like some of those recipes, right? Like,
Oh, yeah, in a notebook.
and do you have an idea what you want to do next after this one? Probably
Yeah,
the stout.
yeah, yeah. I let that one slip out. I was trying to let it be a surprise, but it slipped out.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, how often are you up there brewing? It's like now you just did this batch, which was how many cases? About
241.
wow, that's sizable, and it's been selling pretty well, right? Like it's been moving, and people have been picking it up and interested in it.
As far as I can see, yeah.
Oh, that's great. So I haven't even tried it. This is the first time I'm trying it. This is what it looks like. We have it in Whitey's. So it's a saison, which I think is kind of cool because I feel like talking to a bunch of folks, these black-owned breweries, a lot of them, I think it's cool that they've gone away sort of from like IPAs and they're more into non-traditional styles, like the ginger beer from Sean. And I know like Jasmine and Andrew have the IPA, but they also have a plum basil saison.
Yeah.
And Imani in DC, the Urban Garden, she has that Chamois. Have you ever tried that? Which is yeah, it's a pretty light beer. It's like a little bit reminiscent of. I feel like it's a gold ale, kind of like Sean's, but with a couple of different like chamomile in it and like honey. So I think it's interesting that these are way more approachable beers, I think, for everybody as far as like they're easy drinkers. They're not, people aren't scared off by like, how people are if they hear the word IPA, immediately they're like, I'm not down. You know what I mean? That makes me nervous because I don't like hops. I don't really understand that hops are in all of them. But I just think that's an interesting way to go about it, as opposed to like a lot of places just we're going to do an IPA. That's what people drink. This goes around that a little bit, which I think is very cool and a good idea actually, because there needs to be more diversity in market, and this helps you stand out.
Right.
This style, because there's not a lot of saisons out there, like homebrew, like craft brewed saisons, very few. So I got to try it because I've never tried it. So here we go.
I'm going to try it with you.
Cheers. Oh, I like it. I'm not a big saison guy, but I really like this. I like the blood orange in it. It makes this pretty nice and crisp. It's very good. Now the blood orange is obviously not fresh blood oranges. It's puree, correct?
Yeah.
So you came up with this recipe, and you're like, oh, I think this is really good. I think I can do something with it, right? Oh, Andrew's on right here. Here he is.
Yeah,
Cheers to Andrew. Good to have him join us. So you come up with this recipe. How do you go about going to Oliver or whoever? You have to pick out someplace to brew it, correct?
Yep.
So did you reach out to a bunch of different breweries and be like, are you interested in contracting this beer, blah, 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 things like that? Or do you have a specific spot in mind to brew that beer?
So I emailed a whole bunch of people and called people. A good amount of them, they weren't able to do contract work because they were a small batch.
Right.
And what's called? I first hit up Calvert because they're literally down the street from me.
Right.
But at the time, they were very busy doing other things. And then I hit up some other ones, like one in Virginia, and then I hit up a couple in Baltimore. But
Peabody.
yeah,
Peabody was probably one of them. Yeah.
and then Oliver, they um, responded back and hit me up. Justin, the owner,
Right.
he emailed me back. Oh, called me back. I left him a voicemail, and he said, "We have time. Give me a call. And we can talk more." I'm like, "All right, perfect." And I called him. I think it was that next day, and I basically told him what I was trying to do. I explained my dream to him and my vision,
Right.
and basically sold myself and told me I got these licenses and I'm very serious about this. And then I went up to the actual brewery to talk to the people who work there. Like
Right.
Kevin, he's like the one of the head people. And then I basically told him the style I wanted. He gave me a tour of the brewery, and then I emailed him the ingredients. And at that time, it was still a little bit extract, and so they had to what's it called? They had to change some things around because they don't do extract. It's
Right.
all
They do concentrate. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, the only thing that changed was just the no extract and just pure grains. And so did the whole puree thing. Yeah, that was the process for me in regards to getting all
Were
of
you
it.
there? Were you there the day they brewed it?
No, unfortunately, because during the day I still have my full-time job
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't able to go up there when they're actually making it. I was only there for one day when the head brewer started making it, putting all the
Okay.
grains in there, everything, but I wasn't able to get there for like the rest of the days that it was being brewed, or for the canning day. Because
Right. What was it? So they obviously you gave them the recipe, then they showed you the scaled up version of the recipe.
yep,
What was that like for you? Like, holy crap, this is really happening.
yeah, I was very anxious for it to happen because it's been a long time coming.
And it's interesting because like from you must have been a little apprehensive because it's that much more, and you know what it tastes like when you homebrew it, and then you look at like, crap, we got to make this much more. We have to scale it up this much. Were you nervous about it? You're like, well, these guys are professionals. They'll know what's up.
Yeah, I trusted them because I had that beer before when I used to buy random stuff, and I would see
Right.
all the there. I'm like, okay, cool, I trust them.
And so then they probably told you when it got transferred to the Bright, and did they called you, I'm sure, and like, okay, this is going in cans like this day. What was that like?
Man, I was like a kid in a candy store. Man, I was hyped. I couldn't wait.
Right? Did you like, how excited were you to like have the first can of it? Because obviously you had the first can of it.
Honestly, I wasn't even there when they canned it. I was still at work.
Right.
But yeah, when I picked up like a couple cases at home, just so I can go around and give liquor stores samples and everything.
Right.
I tried it. I was like, man, this is amazing. It tastes just like how I made it at home.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That must have been like having a kid. It must have been like, did you bring it to all your buddies and stuff and be like, this is it, this is my beer? The homebrew guys and all that kind of stuff? Bring it around to all your friends and family?
No, I haven't. I told them
You're gonna buy it, boy. You're gonna buy it, guys.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta go buy that thing because y'all wanted some of the samples from before. All right, cool. Now go buy it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. This is like, you know what this beer is great for? This is a great Thanksgiving beer, actually. Like it'll pair very well with a lot of things at Thanksgiving because it's got the yeast will cut through a lot of the stuff. It's going to be a really good Thanksgiving beer. So everybody come to Whitey's and buy it for your Thanksgiving celebration.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And what did your wife say when she first had it? Is she a beer drinker? First of all, is she a beer drinker?
No, but I made her into one.
Nice. So when you brought the first case home and you were like, here it is. This is what you wanted me to get into. What was her first reaction when she had the beer?
I mean, she said she was proud that stuck through with it. Instead of like some other people, they just started and they get hit with a whole bunch of roadblocks, and they're
Right.
like, "Get it, I'm just gonna stop." Because trust me, up to this point, I got hit with 1,000 roadblocks, man. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep going through it. And I had her in my head and in my ear saying, "Keep on going with it."
What was some of the major roadblocks?
Licensing stuff with the
Hmm.
state. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I can imagine. And especially because I feel like they were probably a little bit like so many breweries hit at the same time because of the pandemic. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
they had a lot of like issues with all that stuff as far as just not enough staffing, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So you must have been anxious when you were like waiting for like the final approval of all your licenses.
Yeah, because originally, if things went smoothly and how it was supposed to go, this beer would have been in the stores by, oh man, by August.
Okay,
Yeah, well, late July, early August. Yeah.
and so that's not too bad though. This would have been it was a little bit longer than you thought, but not hateful.
Right.
So, like September-ish, right? That's when we got it in. It's about September. It's only
Yeah.
funny talking to Sheldon at like the morning. I saw an Instagram post and I sent him a message and like I got to work and I think I probably sent that at like 9:30 and I got to work and you were like walked in the door like 2 minutes after I did. And I was like, whoa, that was fast. Sheldon was like, well, I was coming here anyway. It's just serendipity that like your post came at the same time. So it was great. We had a nice talk that day, and I really like the beer. Sheldon's going to be doing a tasting at the store soon. He'll be part of the Black Brewers event that we do every February at the store. So we're excited for that. That's a great event. I think we decided like February 19th, I think is what Jasmine and Andrew and I talked about. So I think so that'll be coming up in February. But yeah, this is a solid beer. Maybe your second one will be out by then.
Yeah, my goal is by February.
That'd be great. Yeah, you kind of have to have those stouts come out. It's a gold stout though, you said, right?
It's
It's
a
not.
it's a blonde stout, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Those um, are interesting beers. And they do pretty well because people are like, "Wow, this really does taste like a stout," but it's not stout color.
Right.
I did one with a few years ago with Hysteria. We did a white chocolate raspberry bundt cake stout.
Bunt cake.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
yeah, it's a long story, but I'm sure I have a can of it someplace around here. It's a long story, but originally it was supposed to be a collab with a local bakery, and they kind of bailed. So then we scrambled a little bit, and then we got it figured out. It was pretty good, and it was big too. It was like, is yours big? This one
Well,
was like 10%.
oh no. Mm-mm.
Oh, it's
It's
an
not
easy
that.
drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like yeah, the one we did was like 10%. It was really big, but it was pretty good. It was actually very good. So yeah, that's great. I mean, you have that coming out. What did it feel like when you went into Rips? Is your beer in Rips?
No, I had to talk to the beer manager there,
Okay,
and
I think
um
one of them just left and they have a new guy there or something
yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah. And he said that I have to schedule a tasting in the future in order for my beer to get into the store.
right. I
I'm
mean,
like,
that's fair.
yeah, I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fair. You'll do well down there too because you're a local guy. You your beers made locally. That's awesome. That's super cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Was it did you save the first? Oh, I guess you guys don't really get the checks. Like I did that with Jasmine and Andrew. I wrote it.
Yeah.
I wrote it out to them. And they were like, "Oh, it doesn't have our name on it. It has to be PSA or whatever." Which is the Eric Hoskin says, "Cheers from the Brew Gods." I got to get them on one day. I'm going to get those guys on with us. Eric, you down? Come on one day. We'll do a live stream with you guys. Hopefully you'll answer if you're still watching. Yeah. So that's great, man. I'm really proud of you. I think that's cool. You're in the beer business now. How's it feel? You meet a lot of people, right? Every day you're meeting people, getting it out there.
Not for words, to be honest with you. Like, it's a lot of emotions now that I'm like finally in here.
It's good too, because I feel like you're with a really good group of people as far as the collective, like, and they're showing you the ropes, and they're all kind of startups too. And so I think I read that you're at Patuxent. Did you ever release at Patuxent like this weekend?
No, next weekend. So the oh shoot, I am getting up like the 19th.
That's next weekend. Okay.
Yeah, with Livco, we're having a joint release party.
Nice. That'll be great. And like, I love all those Dave and Gene and all those guys down at Patuxent. They're awesome guys. So that'll be fun. That'll be super. People should, like, you'll post that on your Facebook or your Instagram, right? And I'm pretty sure they've had it on there. People should follow Black Beauty Brewing on Instagram, and actually Patuxent and Libco and all these guys, Sean as well, Black Viking. You should, because these guys do a lot of really cool events together. So it's good to go out and support everybody. They all have one or two beers. They don't have a lot of beers, but when they do an event together, you get to try some really cool beer, really interesting beers. And my man Finn's on. Do you know Finn? Finn's another one you need to talk to. Poor Baltimore. Do you know him?
Yeah, he followed me on Instagram.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you guys should definitely you guys should get together with him. He does a lot of stuff. He's great. But yeah, that'll be a great event. That'll be super fun. You can try the Patuxent beers. You can try the Black Beauty beers. You can try the Liquid Intrusion beers. I don't know if Sean's going to be. Sean will show up. If he's available, Sean will be there. Sean Taylor. So that's great. Awesome. So what else so that's what's you got planned. That's coming up on the 19th. Who's doing the social for you? You or your wife?
Me. That's me.
That's a lot of hats, man. Working, doing social's tough. Like, I do a lot of the social stuff. It's hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, I learned that my wife constantly gets on me about that, because sometimes I get a little.
But you forget. I forget.
Yeah.
So, and I do a lot of it. So it's like, oh yeah, I should really post that to get it out there. Andrew and Jasmine do a great job with theirs.
Yeah, it's like every single day. I'm like, geez, how y'all do that?
They're out hustling. They're out hustling every day. Those guys. I love those guys. They're great. So, well, Sheldon, I know you got things to do. It's nice talking to you. Cheers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll get you in. We'll definitely get you in the store before the February 19th event. But until then, I'll let you know when I need more. Anybody that wants to buy Black Beauty, we have it at Whitey's. It's in a bunch of stores locally, though, right? Yeah. You don't have to trek all the way to Linthicum. I'm sure you have it in some stores around you as well.
Yeah, all the locations are on my website and on my Instagram as well.
Oh, I did see that today. I liked how you did now available at. That looks great. So everybody watching this, you guys need to follow Black Beauty. Support Sheldon, support all these folks that are out trying to make it in the beer business. They bring a huge amount of, to me, I've done this for a long time, but you guys all bring a huge amount of energy to it. And I think that's the best part of the whole thing, all the energy you guys are all bringing to it. And this collective, I think, is super cool. You guys bring in all that energy and positivity to it. I love it. It's great. And the beers are killer. Everything about it is like up and up for me. So congratulations on for it and for everybody else involved. And I'll talk to you soon, my brother.
All right,
Cheers.
Man. Cheers. And I like your hoodie.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. Well, that was great. Sheldon's great. Come buy his beer. Like I say, we're going to have him in the store probably sooner than later doing a tasting. I know he's a busy guy. And then, like I say, the Black Brewers festival we've started to do every year. It's going to be an annual event now. We get people from all over. Mac from Philly comes down. Of course, my man Sean's always there. Andrew, Jasmine are there. Usually folks from Urban Garden come out. So it's a good crowd. It's a good time. And I'm telling you, they bring the energy. I love it. So anyway, everybody, appreciate you guys watching. And I'll be sharing this on a couple formats. Remember, tomorrow night, OG, Sierra Nevada. Friday night, the White Castle collab with Harold and Kumar as a silent movie, actually, because my man Jordan Collins got the unrated version, so I can't have that too out in the store. But anyway, we're going to be eating White Castle and drinking beers and watching Harold and Kumar. So come on by for a while. That'll be a good time. And then the Cider Festival the next 2 weekends. So cheers, everybody.